Welcome to the Multidimensional Creator. I'm Evangeline Hemrick, your host. Side effects of listening to this podcast may include becoming radically sovereign over your life and taking full responsibility, breathing deeper, moving in new ways that make you feel really good, doing energy work on yourself, your animals, your land, and the planet. Trusting your intuition, grounded clarity, and inspiration. So consult your intuition before proceeding further with the podcast. Oh my gosh, you guys, I want this to be so casual. I want it to be like, hey, we talked last week and now I'm back again to say some more things to you, because I think of things on the topics that we're talking about. I think of things that I want to add to it after I've already dropped the episode, but that's why this is just an ongoing conversation. It's not ever like, okay, that's all wrapped up nice and neat. No, it's an ongoing conversation, and you can continue to ask questions. Because what I wanted to add about the episode 2, where we talked about if you're triggering someone, maybe you stepped into leadership, or if you're being triggered, welcome to alchemy. Welcome to the gold that's in your life for you to refine and transmute. Okay, well, what I want to add on to the little exercise that I gave you in episode 2 is, okay, that's just the beginning of doing energy work with words that trigger you or have a charge. I said, write them in your journal or write on a piece of paper, but no, that's not where it ends. The reason I was giving that example is my dowsing teacher, he had us list all this out before we did a whole day of body intelligence dowsing to connect to our nervous system. So first and foremost, we were writing those triggering words down so that we could transmute the energy with our pendulum and get the charge and the trigger with the word down to a 0. Because the way that I learned how to use a pendulum is to measure energy, not like an 8-ball, not yes or no's, but to what degree, to what percentage is this word triggering me? What percentage of self-sabotage am I holding in my body? What percentage of self-love? So if that interests you to go deeper, because I've got other ways to show you that you can transmute the energy of anything that's been holding power over you. The replay of the advanced dowsing masterclass that happens on the last night of the year of the wood snake, New Year's Eve, in the Chinese lunar calendar, that replay will be available. So you can look on my website, evangelinehemrick.com, or you can just email me, Evangeline Hemrick. Let me give you this one instead. I have a better email address now, support@evangelinehemrick.com. You can reach out that way and say, I want the dowsing masterclass, because it will always be available on my website. So what we're discussing today is a question that I get asked a lot. And it's a good question. How can I connect to my spirit guides? How do I know about my angels or my healing team? A lot of people want to develop that relationship with their guidance system, with their crew of their spiritual allies, right? That's an understandable question. And my answer is, first and foremost, the most unsexy, not fun thing is the first thing that I'm going to tell you has to happen. Meditation and more meditation, my friends. So if you've been one of those people that's like, gee, I really need to develop a consistent meditation practice, and you're also asking that question, like, I want to know my guides better. You've got to. And a consistent meditation practice is a non-negotiable in the energy that we live in now. Because like I talk about, we've shifted. Gaia herself is different. Our energy fields and bodies are different, and you cannot thrive without it. You can eke by, I guess, and survive in the world without a solid meditation practice, but you cannot develop your intuition because a really solid, consistent meditation practice trains discernment. You learn what your thoughts sound like as they roll around in your head. You learn what your fears feel like in your body, and you learn the greatest gift we've been given as a healing tool, what your imagination is like to translate energy back to you. Without this baseline, everything feels external. Everything needs validation. Everything is a big question mark of, am I making this up? Can't tell you how many times I've heard that question too. So let's talk a little bit more about what is intuitive development. What is intuition? It's a body-based awareness. It's emotional intelligence. It's that knowing, that quiet knowing and pattern recognition. And you feel it in your body. You feel the truth of something in your body. It doesn't matter if everybody's telling you no. You're like, no, I know this. And if your mind is noisy and distracted, your intuition cannot be a clear signal for you. The other thing a meditation practice does, and why I'm going to come back to that over and over and over, that it's going to make everything in your life better. Intuition is developed by meditation. Meditation creates nervous system stability. There's a reason why meditation has been such a powerful practice throughout the ages. Intuition travels throughout your nervous system. So a dysregulated nervous system distorts incoming messages. And meditation strengthens your sovereignty. Sovereignty has been coming up so much lately, as you know, if you've listened to the previous episodes. And it's funny because even in death doula training, because I co-teach a death doula certification program, and I was creating a little handout and a little recap of the live training that I'd done on sovereignty for a death doula. And have you ever typed out a word so many times that you're like, that looks weird. I'm not sure. Am I spelling that wrong? Like I had typed out sovereignty so many times. It just looked strange. And then I had to spell check it. And I was like, oh, that is right. It just looks weird. But also, it's not a word that you experience someone using a lot. So I really had to check my spelling on it when I was making that handout. But meditation really helps you be sovereign because it helps you not need so much external validation. And if you can sit in silence with yourself, which is the goal of meditation, to just be, you can hear subtle truths and you can feel subtle truths in your body. Now, the other thing that I talk about all the time, which you all know, is spiritual hygiene. Because here's the thing. We project authority. We project unmet needs. We project meaning onto things. And so when I hear someone saying to me, well, my guides told me I couldn't do that, and my guides said, and my guides this and my guides that, there's so much eye rolling that goes on with me because I'm like, healthy guidance, true spiritual guidance is neutral, is calm. It doesn't override your values or flatter your ego or tell you what to do with an agenda. It certainly doesn't rush you. Healthy spiritual guidance increases your clarity. It does not make you dependent. If anything urgent, fear-based, harmful for you, dramatic, controlling is happening in your internal guidance system, it's time for a pause. That is just not okay. Because here's the thing, not all physical beings are benevolent. Not everything that speaks and wants to connect with you deserves your attention. I love Manda Scott, one of my favorite shamanic teachers. And she talks about safety in shamanic realms. She talks about discernment when it comes to working with a guide. That could be a plant ally. That could be an animal totem. It could be an angel. It could be many different things. Healthy guidance is only going to support your sovereignty. So instead of connecting to guides, we strengthen the vessel, our body temple. We develop body awareness, grounding through a daily meditation practice of 10 to 20 minutes, non-negotiable. When we've got that part down, we track this guidance that we're getting without interpreting. Notice patterns, watch for consistency over time. And then as you go on in this real path forward with intuitive development and strengthening relationships with all those who love you, that's how I call in Sacred Circle. If I'm setting up ceremonial circle, I call in all those who love me and the person I'm working with on every dimension, every timeline. All those who only have our highest good as their goal, only working with spiritual allies that want the very best for us, not to attach on for their own gain, for their own agenda, because it does happen. And then you move into relationship, not full access, not giving anything that is non-physical full access to you through clear boundaries, clear intention, and always sovereignty, being that clear channel. So honestly, the goal of intuition and developing that intuition isn't really to be guided. It's to be clear enough to guide yourself. That's what I want you to let land. Just take a deep breath with that one. The goal of intuitive development is not to be guided. It is to be clear enough to guide yourself. You are not an open door. You are a sovereign being in relationship with the unseen, or as we used to call it, the invisible world. Well, the invisible world is way less invisible these days, but to some it is. If your clairvoyance has not opened up yet, definitely staying sovereign through practice, patience, and consistency. So how about we do a little intuition strengthening meditation together? What do you think? So let's begin by sitting comfortably. Feet on the floor if you can. Ground your feet to the earth. Have your spine strong and upright, but not rigid. Your hands can relax and just gently rest in your lap. Take one slow breath in through your nose and exhale gently through your mouth. A slow inhale and a slow exhale. And one more time. And now just let your breath return to a normal rhythm. So we're not trying to receive anything. We're not trying to see energy. We're not trying to contact anything. We are simply strengthening your awareness. Bring your attention to the weight of your body. Feel gravity holding you. Notice the temperature of the room. Notice any sounds around you. Now, bring your awareness inward. Notice your thoughts. Don't follow them. Don't fix them. Just observe them like clouds moving across the sky. This is a really important part of this meditation because intuition is not your thoughts. Now notice your emotions. Do you feel calm? Do you feel restless or anxious? Just noticing the emotions. Your intuition is not your emotional reaction. And now just bring your attention to your body and scan gently from the top of your head all the way down your body. all the way down to your feet. Notice where you feel settled and peaceful. Notice where you feel tension. No story around it, just sensation. This is where your intuition lives, my friends. Your intuition lives in the quiet, neutral signals of your body. And then you can ask yourself internally, very softly, what does calm feel like in my body? Maybe it feels heavy. Maybe it feels warm or open. When you find calm, this is your baseline. This is when your signal is clear. Now gently ask, what does urgency feel like in my body? And just observe. Does it feel tight, buzzy, constricted? True intuition will never rush you. Now take one more slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, you can repeat internally, I trust my clarity more than I chase messages. Now feel your body in the chair again. Feel your feet on the floor. And that's it. No fireworks, no bells and whistles, no downloads, just clarity. And the more you do that, the more the downloads come, the more the messages are just right there, just easy, and you weren't chasing anything. And if you take nothing else away from this time together, take this. The goal of intuition is not to be guided. The goal of intuition is to become clear enough to know your own voice, clear enough to recognize projection. I want you to be clear enough to sit in silence without needing a message. You don't need to become more open. Anyone who wishes to connect with their guides just needs to become more stable. Meditation is not glamorous. It's not dramatic and sparkly. It doesn't give you those fireworks. It gives you sovereignty. And sovereignty is the foundation of safe spirituality. Because here's the truth that you won't hear a lot. Not everything subtle deserves your attention. Not everything that feels mystical is mature. When your nervous system is steady, there is no better guide. Your body wisdom will always show up for you when your mind is quiet. And when you know what your fear sounds like, what your imagination is like, then and only then can you begin to discern what is not you, what you are making up and projecting, and what is clearly coming through for your highest good. And even then, even when you have like this strong healing team of allies around you, your crew, you still remain the authority over your life. Healthy spiritual allies do not replace your decision making. They do not tell you what to do. They do not override your values. They strengthen your clarity. So if you want to connect with your spirit guides, meditate, sit, breathe, learn the landscape of your own inner world, because the most powerful clair, if you know what I'm talking about, the clairs, the 6 clairs, which includes clairvoyance, clairgustance, clairsentience, all those. The most powerful clair or intuitive superpower you will ever develop is discernment. You are not an open door. You are not a come one, come all. I'm going to be so excited if something non-physical wants to connect with me. And no. Because you are a sovereign being in right relationship with what you can see and what you cannot see. And if you want to go deeper with me into this, check out my dowsing masterclass, my very first online course of 2026. And it will still be a very powerful transmission because our community is going to come together for that last few moments of the year of the snake and really prepare, really strengthen the vessel for this beautiful fire horse year. So I would love to connect with you further and help you develop your unique superpowers and intuition. thank you for spending time with me today. If this episode supported you, come connect with me on Instagram at Evangeline Hemrick. You can find my website, evangelinehemrick.com. And we also have a supportive community for multidimensional creators like you on Facebook. To go deeper with me in one-on-one work, you can book a private session with me on my website. Until next time, stay embodied, stay sovereign, and keep listening to your intuition.